The most exciting and frustrating thing about B2B sales is that it's always changing. You've got new regulations, new competitors, new technologies, new priorities from the C-suite. You can have your messaging dialed in on Monday, and by Friday, some crazy presidential executive order can completely change the game. Or some topic goes viral and your buyers are suddenly asking new questions you've never heard before. Or a champion inside a target account leaves, and suddenly you have to re-educate their replacement from scratch to save that deal you've been working on for the past 7 months. In these circumstances, you need a way to respond quickly. You need a way to tell a bigger story and explain the change that's going on, and do it in a way that puts you in the role of trusted guide or advisor or Sherpa. That story is usually too long for a single blog post, too early for a white paper, and too important to let your sales team just figure it out and explain it one prospect at a time. That's when you need something called an ebook. Now, don't get intimidated by the whole book part of ebook. It doesn't need to be this 140-page multi-chapter document that takes months to develop. An ebook is just another PDF document masquerading as a multi-page canvas. You can do anything in an ebook. You can go deep on a subject without feeling boxed in by a single page limit or by your website design, which only looks a certain way and your developer can only deliver content that looks like this. With an ebook, you can string together a few of your most popular blog posts. You can rewrite them for consistency or write some glue that, transitions from one article to the next. And then you can publish all that stuff as one unified resource. It's a beautiful thing. You can produce a solutions guide that acts like a how-to for solving a specific industry problem. That's a great ebook idea. Or you can create like a thought leadership piece that pulls together market insights and original ideas and practical advice. And what's cool about this is you can go as heavy as you want into marketing language. Like in a white paper, you can't really do that. You don't want to be salesy. But in an ebook, anything goes. You can make it as visual and stylized as you like. You can be as salesy as you want. You can be as humorous as you want. And I love that about ebooks because you get to kind of create this environment where someone's going to really dig in and get to know you for a little while. They're going to spend some time reading an ebook. So if you have a lot to say and no good place to put it, or you've got this high value content and you want to use it as like a lead magnet, an ebook is the way to do it. You can use it to define a new category, educate a market, explain your approach, or walk prospects through a methodology, anything you want. It can be serious and data heavy, or lighthearted and approachable. The format is flexible enough to handle either one or anything in between. The most ebooks I work on fall between 5 to 15 pages, usually somewhere between 2,500 and 5,000 words. Long enough to build credibility and short enough to keep someone's attention span. If you have more to say, you can create a series of ebooks that build on one another, or just publish one long-ass ebook. It's totally up to you. The key is making sure that every page delivers value and keeps the reader moving forward. Now, ebooks are usually gated content, which means that a prospect is deciding whether your content is worth trading their contact information for. They do not like filling in forms, contact forms. This is a high bar, especially today when marketers hear someone sneeze and they think, oh, that person wants our AI-driven email sequence. The ebook needs to be good enough that the reader feels that the trade and contact information was in their favor. It should be something that they would have gladly paid for, but got for free. Now, the design of an ebook is certainly important, but it is there to support the content, not to carry it. A good ebook will use visuals, pull quotes, and headings to make it easy to scan, but it still needs to be really readable. Even if someone doesn't read every single word in it, they should still get value from the way the content is presented. It should be presentable. They should be able to open it, get the gist, skim through it, and even do a deep dive. Distribution is usually where ebooks fail. People will just put it on their websites and pray to the SEO gods that someone finds it. Like we discussed with white papers in our previous video, ebooks should be promoted through email campaigns and social media, sales outreach, conferences, webinars, and partnerships, just like a white paper. Any sort of really beefy, important sales asset should be promoted. You need to get the word out and tell everyone in every channel all the time. Your sales team should know exactly when to send an ebook and why. So there should be some rules and expectations around this kind of asset. You can also repurpose content from your ebook into blog posts and infographics or short videos, anything you can do that extends the reach of the ebook. You really want to get them to fill in that contact form. Now, a well-written, well-designed ebook becomes an asset that you can use across all of your sales and marketing programs for months. Not forever and ever, but for months. It should be flexible enough to adapt to changing priorities and big enough to make a meaningful impact in how prospects see you. Now, some of the ebooks I've written include a data science guide to Black Friday and Cyber Monday shopping, a framework for software attack surface management of like virtual machines and Docker images, data centralization practices for companies looking to do generative AI, how financial services companies should approach data integration, and like blockers for developing a data-driven culture. So as you can see, these are kind of big technical topics, but they're light enough that non-technical readers could get something out of them. And that's how I write them. I make my ebooks really approachable because usually it's like a director level or above that's going to read an ebook and you want them to share it with their peers. Now, when it comes to actually writing the ebook and what those look like from a structural standpoint, I generally, get a title that's got a big topic, and then I'll figure out what are 2 to 4 big pillars that hold that topic up, subtopics that are all related to the one big idea. And when I say big idea, it doesn't have to be like a thesis or, you're not promoting a methodology, although you could, but the purpose of it is, you want to cover one big topic and then get 2 to 4 big ideas in there that really substantiate what it is that you're trying to communicate. So usually I'll start an ebook with, let's say, like the blockers, the data culture. What is a data-driven culture? What does it look like? What are the benefits? How do you know if you have one? How do you know if you're on the way to one? How do you know that you're on the wrong track? These kinds of things. And then, I'll tee up the big topics of the ebook. So this is a blocker and that's a blocker and this other thing's a blocker. And then I'll summarize all of it with like a CTA-driven conclusion because you can be as forthcoming about marketing and sales as you want, but usually I'm not leading them to a solution, although sometimes we do that in an ebook. Usually it's like, look at what an expert we are about this problem. An ebook is a great way to build credibility. And I like to keep them simple and straightforward. I also love writing them, and I would love to write one for you too. If that's something you think you need, just reach out, send me an email or leave a comment or something like that. Anyway, ebooks are fantastic for taking a deep dive into a broad topic. And they're great because, like I said, they can be 5 to 10, 15 pages. They look substantial. You can pack a lot of value into it, and that's awesome. But sometimes your prospect doesn't need a deep dive, which gets into the topic of our next video. When people just need a quick, targeted answer to a very specific question, which you might have even answered in your ebook, but they don't have the time to read it. They don't want to jump to page 9, read the 3rd paragraph in. In those cases, you need like a mini sales pitch that people can digest in minutes and easily share with their team. And that is the job of the one-pager. So whereas an ebook is a many-pager, the one-pager paradoxically is usually 2 pages. But it's front and back for when you print it. It's a single sheet of paper. Anyway, watch our next video to learn how to create these high-impact, laser-focused assets called one-pagers, and I'll see you there.